though it isn't very typical with teens. I love going to my grandma's house. My grandma lives out in a farm in Iowa. I don't live there, so I eagerly await the few times in the year we get to go over. It's always so much fun. So much space to run around, plenty of animals to play with. She even has a pool. And every time she sees me, she always gives me a bunch of sweets. Anyways, it was just over a year ago, and my parents, my aunt and uncle and I were making our way over there for Memorial Day. It was going to be a bit chilly, so my mom told me I could bring my favorite red hoodie. She hated the thing, but that's why I was so excited. A few days into our trip, and I wasn't really doing anything, so I hopped onto my computer and turned on some music. My music was on half volume, but it was still pretty loud. Anyways, I was sitting there, typing away as I always do, when I heard my grandma's dog barking. Now, her dog barks, just not that loud. It scared the crap out of me, so I ripped out my earbuds and listened. I don't know what I was listening for, but eventually, I slowly got up and walked downstairs, flinching at every creak. I told myself over and over again, you're out in the country. No one would break into a house in the country. I walked cautiously into the living room where my grandma and my aunt were sitting. My grandma, though, had gotten up to let the dog out. What happened? I asked. Don't know. The dog started spazzing, thinking she saw something outside. But it wasn't no normal bark. Something fierce, my aunt said. I stared out the window as I saw my grandma and her dog outside. There was a drop-off on the driveway where they were standing, so the dog was pacing along the sides as if trying to figure out the fastest way down or showing that she protected the house. As I looked, I thought I saw a pair of golden eyes looking out from a few trees behind the barn. I brushed it off, telling myself that it was one of the many cats my grandma had wandering around the farm. When my grandmother came back inside, I asked her, what was the howl about? I don't know. The dog has calmed down now, and she's eating some food, she said. I looked at her for a few seconds and shrugged. Then I went back upstairs. Nothing unusual happened at all for the rest of the night, until I went to bed. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid there, listening to music as those golden eyes floated through my mind. They had to have just been a cat, right? As the night wore on, I finally began to drift to sleep. Just as I did, my eyes shot open as I saw my door slowly opening. I froze there, watching in horror as the door slowly opened completely on its own. The fact that it was opening wasn't what was scaring me. It was the fact that I didn't hear it at all. I had my music on low, but the house was quieter, and the door was probably the loudest door in existence. Suddenly, I was getting up. I walked over and slipped on my favorite red hoodie. All the while, I stared out the window, seeing those golden eyes. I turned and walked downstairs, not making a sound. This was odd. As if following something, I went out the sliding doors and then towards the pool. Walking along the path, I kept going. When the pavement turned into dirt and the rocks poked at my bare feet in a painful way, I still kept going. Finally, I had walked around the barn, completely out of sight from the house. What was awaiting me there truly terrified me. It stood about 10 feet tall, and it had its back towards me, but I knew exactly what was going to happen the moment it turned around. Glowing golden eyes. I felt no fear, only the warmth of safety, which in all terrified me because the giant hulking monster inched its way closer to me. As it came close, I could make out some of its features. It looked like a cross between wolf and human, except its limbs weren't graceful at all. They were mangled and scarred, and patches of fur were missing, revealing wounds. Some were even fresh and bleeding. Finally, it stood in front of me. Its eyes seemed to bore into my soul, and then it smiled. Well, smiled about as good as a wolf can. "Hello, darling," it says in a gravely deep voice. He moved gently and picked me up. "I promise you, this won't hurt one bit." Suddenly, he chomped down and tore my leg off. It hurt at first, but the pain disappeared for a few seconds. He laid me down on the gravel, still smiling. "Blood Red Riding Hood. That's what I shall call you now." And then he bounded away. I lay there for a few moments, and then the pain rushed to my leg. I cried out and shifted my head just in time to see the headlights of a car that was only a few feet away in front of me, as it was about to run me over. I woke up in the start from a horrid dream. My music was still playing next to me, and I looked out the window to see that it was still morning. Pulling down my covers, I saw my leg was still there, completely undamaged. I shook my head and thought it was just a nightmare. But I froze when I looked down the sketchbook. In big letters, written in blood, was a single word: delicious. Okay, thank you for listening to another creepypasta. If you guys have any requests you would like me to do a video on, creepypastas, scary stories, totally cool by me, let me know. Alright, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Good night.